Hi class, today we're going to work with right triangular prisms, and this will seem very similar to what we did yesterday. We're actually going to talk about rectangles real quick again. We'll start with area of a rectangle. We know that that is length times width. That is nothing new. And then yesterday we learned volume of a rectangular prism, and that is length times width. We used the same formula, but then we added the third dimension of height. So today we're working with triangles. So we're going to use the area of a triangle formula as our foundation, and we know that this is base times height, but for triangle we have divided by 2. Okay. Now we added a third dimension. Right? We have base, height, and now we have width. So our formula is going to be very similar. The volume of a triangular prism is going to be base times height times width divided by 2. And if we look at the top, our numerator, base times height times width, that's very similar to our length times width times height, right? A few different words, but it's very similar. But since we're talking about triangles, just like in the area formula, we needed to find the area of the rectangle but divide it by 2. Here we're going to find the volume of the rectangular prism and divide it by 2. So this first picture, if we were to kind of redraw it, and if we doubled this, not perfect, but we're close. If I drew another one and kind of laid it on top of our already existing figure, we would have a rectangular prism. And again, that's what our numerator is telling us. We're finding the area of the rectangular prism, but then since we're working with a triangle, just like for the area formula, we're going to divide by 2. So let's go ahead and use that formula for our first, or our only example. We just have one today because these are pretty easy. So we are going to do base times height, which is our normal triangle formula divided by 2. But now we have our third dimension, which is width. So our base of our triangle is 8, our height is 7, and our width is 13. So volume equals 8 times 7 times 13, all divided by 2. Calculators are okay, you guys know that. 8 times 7 is 56. 56 times 13. Let's go ahead and do that. 6 times 3, 18. 5 times 3, 15. Add 1, 16. 0, 6, 5. Add them all up. 8, 2. Carrier 1. 728. So our volume, our numerator is 728. And we are going to divide by 2, which gives us 364. And there are no units here, so we're just going to write units. And remember, for volume, our units are always cubed. So we have base, units, units, units. And if we're multiplying something by itself 3 times, we can use the cubed. So very similar to yesterday, except we're just dividing by 2. Go ahead and solve 2 of the 3 problems below, and we will practice more in class tomorrow.